Do you know in the Southwest where the safest and unsafest neighborhoods are? On today's video, that's what we're talking about. I want you to remember, Calgary is a fairly safe city. Take it all with a grain of salt. This is not me saying that this is the best or the worst community. You should never live here. You should always live here. But reality is, some people care about crime rates. So we're gonna start today's tour with the unsafest communities in Southwest Calgary. And then we're gonna head over to the safest, and we're gonna tie in the Walkscores. We're gonna talk about the communities, and we're gonna talk about all the crime rate per 100 people. And that's how we're ranking this. So let's go. Just south of the Bow River, with Crowchild Trail running right through the middle of it, is a community called Richmond. And this is our 5th unsafest community in Southwest Calgary. 54% of the homes in Richmond were built before 1980, and about 15% of those were built after 2011. You can kind of expect around the average household income there to be right around $116,000. These average household income prices are all coming from the last Canadian census that happened in 2016. Over the last 90 days, the median sold price for homes there was just shy of $810,000, and the largest age group there was between the ages of 25 and 39. And why this is the 5th unsafest community in Southwest Calgary is because it has a ranking of 22 crimes for every 100 people that live there. And to put it into perspective, the average for Southwest Calgary is about 13 crimes for every 100 people living in different areas. Situated just east of McLeod Trail, and actually has South Centre Mall within its borders, is our 4th unsafest location in Southwest Calgary. And to be honest, I was a little bit surprised by this one because it's actually a great community and really nice high-end type community. 86% of the dwellings there were all built between 1961 and 1980, with the average household income being around $96,000. 70% of the homes here are actually single-family detached homes, which again makes it very surprising for that it's on this list. What's interesting about this community is that there are a lot of individuals who have lived there a long time, as well as a lot of young families moving in there when you look at the demographics. Can you guess what we're talking about? We're talking about Willow Park. Over the last 90 days, the median sold price for Willow Park was right around $673,000. And this is the 4th unsafest community in the Southwest Calgary because it has 22 crimes for every 100 people. And I'm gonna be honest, again, I really believe this is because South Centre Mall is situated right on the edges of it. For our number 3 location, it is a community called Southwood, which is just east of 14th Street and south of Anderson Road. With about 78% of the dwellings and homes that live there are all built between 1961 and 1980, you can expect the household income to be right around $80,000 there. Over the last 90 days, the median sale price for homes in Southwood is right around $317,000. And with the largest age group being right around 25 to 39, it has the 3rd unsafest score of 22 crimes for every 100 people living there. Situated south of Chinook Mall and right beside McLeod Trail is Kingsland, which is our 2nd most unsafe neighborhood in Southwest Calgary. The most recent 90-day median stats show that the sale price there for the last 90 days for the median price was $522,000. With the largest age group being between the ages of 25 and 34, you also can expect the average household income in Kingsland to be right around $80,000. And the reason this is the 2nd unsafest community in all of Southwest Calgary is because it has 29 crimes for every 100 people living there. And let's be honest, it's a beautiful area, lots of infills, a lot of regentrification happening in that area. I think it's just because of its location right beside Chinook Centre Mall. And you're gonna notice a trend here for these bottom Southwest communities where they're located is kind of changing how they are sitting on this list. Located just south of Bow Trail, where Westbrook Mall, as well as the large train station with a large train stop is located, this community has all of that in it. We are at Rosscarrock, and this is voted, or is basically the most Unsafe community in South West Calgary, the most recent 90-day sold price here is about $650,000 for their median price. The average household income here is about $65,000, and the largest age group is between 25 and 35. This is the most unsafest neighborhood because of its higher crime rates of 35 crimes for every 100 people that are living here. The thing with Rosscarrock is about 69% of the community are actually renters. And so it just changes the dynamics of who is living here and the feel of a community when you have that higher renter profile living in the area. So the average Walkscore for all of these top 5 communities is about 54. And if you think of all of Southwest Calgary, Walkscore there is about 12. So it has a really, really high Walkscore. And I actually believe a lot of these areas, as they really aren't that unsafe, you end up adding up all of these crimes that are happening in transition areas, let's call them. Whether that's malls, whether that's infrastructure, whatever it is, you have a lot of people that are moving around and accessing the community very, very easily. So streets that are closer to those malls, maybe the first 3 streets, could be a little bit rougher, but as soon as you get further back in the community, it all kind of changes. So these are things to keep in mind if you're looking in these areas and you're looking for something safer in those communities. So now that we've talked about the unsafest communities, let's now talk about the safest communities here in Southwest Calgary. Coming in at the 5th spot for safest communities here in Southwest is Cougar Ridge. Cougar Ridge is located just on top of Winsport, which used to be called Canada Olympic Park, with 62% of the homes all being built between 2001 and 2005, and 87% of the homes in there all being single detached family homes, and it having $158,000 as the average income. You can definitely find some fantastic opportunities and properties up in this area. The largest age group in this area is between their late 30s to late 40s, and the median price over the last 90 days is around $733,000. Now, this is rated the 5th safest location in Southwest Calgary because it's only had about 5 crimes for every 100 people that live there. And you got to remember, all of Southwest, the average is about 12 crimes per 100 people. Now, coming in 4th spot is a community that, well, if you head towards Okotoks, you've gone a little bit too far, but it is just north of Spruce Meadows, and it's called Bridlewood. Bridlewood has a 90-day median sale price of right around $517,000, along with the average income being about $104,000. The largest age group here is those that are between in their mid-30s and mid-40s, with a strong following of kids under the age of 17. And this is the 4th safest community in Southwest Calgary because it too also has only 5 crimes for every 100 people. Just south of Stony Trail and west of the river is our 3rd safest location, and that is Chaparral, with the average household income there being about $137,000, as well as their median 90-day sale price being around $599,000. Chaparral is a great location with lots of opportunities. The largest age group in Chaparral is between the ages of 35 and 54, and this comes in as a 3-way tie for our 3rd safest location in Southwest Calgary, with 5 crimes for every 100 people. Coming in for 2nd spot is a community down south, right across Stony Trail from Alpine Park. And this community is actually called Evergree. It's been around a long time and is probably one of the largest communities in the city, probably tied with Tuscany up in the northwest. The most recent 90-day median average price there is about $582,000, and the average household income is around $128,000. The largest age group in this community is about 35 to 49, well, with a ton of kids mixed in there as well. And this is the 2nd safest community in Southwest Calgary because it only has 4 crimes for every 100 people that live there. Coming in at number 1 is another community that borders Fish Creek Park, just like Evergreen, is on the west side of McLeod Trail and actually has a unique advantage because it's got a lot of new homes like this, but a lot of other homes that were built probably in the 80s, maybe even the 70s, but probably 80s and 90s. Can you guess it? The median sold price for this community is actually $399,000. But because they have new construction that is overtaking an old golf course, mixed with the old ones, if you take out and only focus on single detached homes, the median price jumps up over $720,000. The average household income here is just shy of $110,000, and the crime rate is only 3 crimes per 100 people. So, have you guessed the community? Do you know what it is? If you guessed Shawnee Slopes, then you are correct. This is the safest community in Southwest Calgary. With an average Walkscore of 23, most of these communities don't have as accessibility like other ones that are on the Unsafest list do. And that combined with the lack of major malls, major schools, anything like that where a large group of people congregate, is that the right word? Then they don't have that around here. These are a lot quieter communities, which kind of equates to less people and a little bit more safe. And if safety is what you're looking for and you're considering inner city, then head over to this video here, because we've talked about the inner city Calgary and the safest communities and most unsafe communities in inner city Calgary right over here.